Hi everybody, my name is Jason and I'm here as a guest on Gaming with Sidekicks talking about the new CMON game, Rising Sun. It's a game that is designed by Eric Lang. The art is all by Adrian Smith, and I'll tell you what, the art is really a key feature of this game. It's all throughout the game pieces, the game board, and the rule books. There's even a separate art book that I got to give me some guide, because eventually I'm going to paint these minis and they're going to look even better, especially these monsters up here. There's a couple of monsters up there. You can see some of the art that goes with those on those cards. This is a setup for a 3-player game. And so I wanted to give you a little bit of an overview of what the gameplay would be like, just so you can get a sense of this. Each player has their own set of minis, of course, their own set of strongholds, and I will point out that this is the Turtle Clan, and if you can notice, their strongholds are built on the backs of turtles. That's because they have a special power. Most strongholds stay in place on the board, but the Turtle Clan strongholds count as actual force on the board. It's like a tank moving around. And they can actually move as if they were figurines, and so you can actually bring your strongholds into another territory. Most of the strongholds look like that. This is the Dragonfly Clan there, and there's some of their minis. And over here we have the Bonsai Clan and some of their minis. And if you can notice, this is the Daimo. He's like the leader of the clan, and his art is right there as well. So the art and the minis are all synced up. Looks great. To set up for the beginning of the game, each player gets one of their strongholds, their Daimo, their leader there with the black base, and one of their regular fighters. He doesn't have a special circle in his base. They all go on the board in their home territory, and so I have that set up already. Each player, each clan gets a seasonal income. So at the beginning of the game, we start in the spring season, and every season you get 6 coins if you're the Turtle Clan. If you're the Bonsai Clan, you only get 4 coins, but that's because they know how to work deals, and everything that they buy with coins costs no more than 1 coin, and that's before any discount. There are some things that give you a 1 coin discount, which would let them use that for free. The Dragonflies Clan's special ability is when they start to move, they can move their figurines anywhere on the board, and they don't have to move from province to province through standard shipping lanes or across borders. They literally can fly around on the board. Normally you can only summon new creatures, new clan members onto the board wherever you've got a stronghold, but the Bonsai Clan, they can actually start their summon their people into any clan that they would like, or sorry, any territory that they would like. They could just drop them in over there. They just fly in. They've got the Air Force on their side there. We've also started everybody out with their starting honor. Honor is important for a couple of reasons. First of all, the ones that are highest on the honor track, in this case the Turtle Clan, they actually get to break all of the ties. And there's going to be many times that a battle or a contest is going to be determined by whoever has the most force in one territory, or up here at the shrines for the gods. And whenever there's a tie, the clan with the highest honor on the honor track always wins. Honor is relative, and so if you lose honor, your position would actually move down, and somebody else below you, everyone else below you, would move up. There's a starting honor on the board that's written on your little player's guides. So the Turtle Clan actually has 4 Dragonfly is 5, Bonsai is 6. But we just start them out at 1, 2, 3, because it's all relative. The other thing we set up at the beginning of the game were these 4 gods that are up here. They give special powers if you go and worship your Shinto, your priests, at those. So when you summon somebody to the board, you can bring one of your Bushi or one of maybe a monster that you've recruited out into a territory, but you can also recruit a Shinto. They have these white bases, and they can come onto the territory. If you need to have them help you fight, that's fine, but a lot of times you're going to bring them up here and have them start competing for who's going to worship the god the most. The more figures you have up there, the winner gets this bonus. In this case, this person gets to move up the honor track to the very top, which would be great for the Bonsai clan because they start out in 3rd place, so that might move them up. And you start worshiping them in order when it comes to the worship phases, which means that moving up to the top of the honor track might be great to break a tie in one of these. This grants you some extra movement. This grants you some extra Ronin, which are fighters, just extra ground troops. There's the fighters over there. You get extra fighters, Ronin, if you worship the most of your Shinto on this guy. And this guy just gives you some victory points based on the number of strongholds you have. That'll matter more later in the game when you start building more strongholds. At this point, the game's ready to start. I did want to mention also that I have the spring virtue cards up here. Actually, these are virtue cards, these are enhancements. This is a war upgrade, these are upgrade cards, and of course here's some monsters that you can recruit. We'll recruit those with these political mandates, because after setup we're going to try to move in towards some political mandates, and that's going to actually start to bring troops onto the board, gain you some resources for the upcoming battles that are going to fight. Matter of fact, we already know where the fights are going to be. We set this up at the beginning of the spring here. The first fight is going to happen right there in Nagato, which is over here. Nobody's in Nagato now, but there's going to be a fight there, unless nobody's in that territory. But even if one character moves into that territory, they can win that fight. Then they go down in order. You pick 5 of these at random. If you've got 3 players, if you've got 4 players, you go 6 and so forth. But that's where the fights are going to be. Matter of fact, just to remind everybody where those fights are going to be on the board, there's little flags that'll tell us that's going to be where the first fight is once we move into the war phase. Before we start handing out the political mandates, we have a moment to break and have some tea, and each of the players has a chance to try to make an alliance with the other players. Alliances are not mandatory, but there's some benefits that you get for having an alliance. You don't have to fight when it comes to the war phase, and the big benefit is that when you get into the political mandates, as we're going to get into, you get a bonus if you're the one that selected the mandate. Everybody gets to do something on almost all of these, but you get a bonus if you have an ally. The ally gets it too. For example, on the recruit mandate, you and an ally can summon an additional figure after everyone has recruited a figure onto the board. Too. And so if you've allied with somebody who uses the recruit action, you also get to put 2 figures out onto the board. So you have a chance to negotiate that. When 2 people negotiate, 2 clans negotiate, you put their little pieces together like that, and they're in an alliance. In this case, the Bonsai clan and the Dragonfly clan have made an alliance, and the Turtle clan is out. Now the good news is he doesn't have to share. He can try to even come in between them if he wants, but he's not going to gain that benefit. In later rounds, it might benefit somebody to be in an alliance with him. Obviously, if there's 4 players, there's a good setup for 2 sets of alliances, but again, alliances aren't mandatory. Alliances are also made to be broken, which we'll get to here in a second. But once the tea ceremony has happened, by the way, during the tea ceremony you can negotiate other things. For example, you can promise not to move into a certain territory if you'll make an alliance with another player, if they'll make an alliance with you. You can also offer them coins. You may even give them a promise of Ronin. If you think you have some Ronin coming your way, you say, well, I'll give you the next 2 Ronin that I acquire this turn, so that you can have them on your side. What's interesting is that even though you can make those kinds of deals, they're not binding. And so if you promise not to move into the Kansai territory, and it turns out it's a good time for you to move into there when it's time, you can move into that. That may upset your partner, it might not, your ally. They might even decide when they get a chance to betray you, which will break that alliance. But you also might decide, everyone might decide that you're not very trustworthy and might not make alliance with you again. So you got to decide when it's a good time to go against your alliance, if ever. So once the tea ceremony's happened, you can see the little track of what we're going to do here. These empty spaces on the board, and look, there's the tea ceremony right there. So we've done our tea ceremony, and now we need to fill in these 3 spots with political mandates. So starting with the highest honor, in this case would be the Turtle Clan. They're going to take the top 4 political mandates here. We've shuffled these up, and look at them. Now, normally they'll keep these to themselves, but just for our purposes, we'll lay them out here so you can see these. So this is the deluxe Kickstarter edition, which has these nice plastic versions of these. The regular set comes with some thick cardboard pieces which do the same thing. But I really like these bigger plastic pieces. And here you can see right up front, out of the 4 choices they get, and there's 5 total to choose from. We were showing them a little bit there, but you get to pick from these 4. They get to pick one, and they'll place it on the board too. So let's talk about a couple of these. A great one to start with is train. And so let's say he decides he wants to train. Both he and his ally, oh wait a minute, nobody allied with him, so he's the only one that gets to get a discount when they train. So if you notice, you'll go first, so he'll get to pick the first enhancement card up there, and he can buy one available season card from the enhancement and he'll pay its money cost. But because he got to pick this, he'll pay 1 less coin. So he might look up there and say, well, wow, I really like this this Komano up here. I want this monster on my team. And look, he costs 2 coins. So I'm going to buy him. I'll keep his card over here to remind me that he counts as a Shinto, which means I can actually worship him. Whenever you buy, so you're going to pay 1 money, one of your coins, into the common pool up here. And you can drop him right into one of these. He's going to try to get some extra Ronin. So he's going to drop that Shinto right up there, that Kumano right up there to count as a Shinto, and he's already ahead on that track. These 3 that he didn't pick are going to go on top. Everyone else gets a chance to buy a season card themselves. So they might buy a war upgrade, which gives them 3 coins at the start of the war phase, which is, just to give you a sense of that tea ceremony, 3 political mandates get played, a worship phase happens, and then you get to do that a few more times till you get down here to the war phase. But at the beginning of the war phase, coins are important, so you can get 3 coins at the beginning of that. It costs you 2 coins right now, but that might last then the entire game. You get to keep that bonus, so that's going to last you for the next 3 seasons total. You don't during the winter season, you just count up your points, so you really have 3 seasons to win this game. You might do a Bushi upgrade, or sorry, an enhancement here, where this one is a Bushi upgrade. If you summon, you may place an extra Bushi in any of your strongholds. This is a Shinto upgrade. At the end of a recruit mandate, you place an extra Shinto on a shrine if you get the Path of the Light. Or here, the Daimo gets 1 extra force, so that actually makes your Daimos a little more powerful out there on the board. You might decide you want some virtues, which are really ways to get usually bonus points at the end of the game. For each of your figures that's killed, you gain a victory point. If you get the Path of Righteousness there. The Path of Benevolence gives you, when you spend a coin, you may give a coin to another player. If you do, you gain honor, which means you move up 1 space on the honor track, and you get 2 victory points. And so you can start spending, if you have the money for it, start spending your way towards more honor and victory if you have the path, if you follow the path of benevolence there. And to buy that one costs 1 coin. Not all of these cost coins. If you notice the Path of the Lion, that's a free upgrade. Somebody could just take that right now. Don't forget, the Bonsai Clan pays 1 less. And so any of those that cost 1, like the Path of the Light, they could just take that for free. So I'm sorry, I said it wrong. Everything they buy with costs no more than 1, so that's what I meant. So if something costs 2, this Path of the Cannon would cost them only 1. And so as it moves around, you'll have some more chances to do some of these other actions. So for example, we won't spell this all out for everybody here, but we'll do the Marshall plan for the next group. The Marshall political mandate lets you move each of your figures across the board or 1 shipping route. So for example, remember that this group can move the Turtle Clan can move their stronghold, maybe one of the Bushis across the border. Everybody gets to move 1 direction. They can move everybody 1. Don't forget the Dragonfly. When they move, they can just fly all over the board. So they may want to get in some of these empty spaces over here. Kaishu is over here. They're landlocked, but they have shipping routes. There's a shipping route that goes to Shikoku. This shipping route over here goes to Kansai, and so they're going to start to set up some troops in Kansai. If you notice, they've got a shipping route up here that goes all the way up to Hokkaido. You know what? Hokkaido's been left kind of abandoned by the Dragonfly clan, so they're going to actually move there along a shipping route up there during that phase, because all players get to move that too. Now the group that got to choose that, at this point let's say it's the Bonsai clan here, they're going to pay a coin because they can also build a stronghold. And you can build a stronghold anywhere, so they may want to set up a stronghold in Nagato, and they'll pay 1 coin for that as well. One of the next things you can do is to train. So let me find training. Oh wow, it's all the way down here. We did recruit already. Oh wait, train, that was train. Sorry, recruit is what we want. So recruit is how you get more people on the board. So you might want to get your Shinto, and this is going to be the Dragonfly clan that did this. So remember, you get to recruit 1 extra thing on the board, and so that they can go anywhere because it was them. Now their ally, which over here in the Bonsai clan, they can do that as well, and they really like the idea of getting a Shinto up there, and boy, they're going to start stacking up in Nagato now that they placed the stronghold there. Everywhere they have a stronghold they can put somebody, but since they have 2 strongholds, they can get 2 troops out onto the board there. So they put an extra troop there, they get an extra troop in this extra stronghold. So they are rocking and rolling. That was a really good round for them. So everywhere with a stronghold and then an extra one, so they use their extra one to send a Shinto up there because they would like that extra honor too, which is great because we're at the phase now where we would do 1 cycle of worship, and it's pretty easy right now. This one's going to move up in honor, so everybody moves down because they're going to move all the way to the top. There we go. They're going to get 2 free moves. Oh, they love free moves too, because they so they can go anywhere, and they decide they want to, you know what, they really like where they are, so that was kind of a bad move for them. They'll save that for later, because as long as they're winning that Kami, that Shinto is going to stay there and work for them. But Hachiman is going to reward the Bonsai clan, who's got Kumano there, with 2 Ronin. So they're going to have 2 Ronin working out on their side when it comes time for the war. And now that we're spread out a little bit, the Turtle Clan decides to come in and harvest. So harvest is a chance to get some extra resources. So Kyushu is winning, has the most force, 2 force right here in this province, in Kyushu province. And so they're going to get 1 victory point, and so that's actually this track down here. They'll get a victory point. They'll get 1 coin and 1 Ronin. So we just got a pile of those up here. They'll get 1 coin and 1 Ronin, and we'll put those over in their pile. And you'll go around the board doing that. I won't pull this out for everybody, but if you notice the the Turtle Clan, by moving over here into Kansai, their bonus is they get 3 victory points right up front just pulling the lead with that. They would get 3 coins. They would also get that victory point coin Ronin bonus there. Oh my goodness, Kyoto is awesome. They actually, look at what they're doing there. 4 bonus points there, all the way up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 victory points. They're up to 7 victory points just by spreading forward there. But notice up here, they're going to get a couple of Ronin because the Dragonfly clan left Hokkaido abandoned, and they took a shipping route up there and got something up there. But look, they're getting some coins here, some coins and some honor, or so, not honor, sorry, some coins and some victory points there, which is awesome. So, do that a few more times. You're going to worship a few more times. Oh my goodness, I forgot the most important one, or at least the most scary one. Somewhere along the line, you can throw in a betray action. What betrayal does is replaces any 2 figures on the board from different players on the map with one of your own. So you can throw in a Shinto right before that last phase. You might just say, well, I'm going to need to move up on the honor right before this goes here. So I'm going to replace this with this. Sorry. And kick that guy out. And then you can also come in here and replace this with this. And look at that, you're ahead and all those things. Since they're replacing, they just go back over here. They're not taken hostage or anything. And it also breaks any alliances. Now, if it was this group, well, that would full on just break that alliance, and you just separate out those pieces there too. They aren't fully allied anymore if one of them plays a betray action too. But in this case, the Turtle Clan played it, so it was fine. I'm not even sure if that's correct, but just to show you kind of what that looks like too. All right. Once we've done 7 political mandates, 3 of those worship phases, for these are called the kami up here, the Japanese gods. And so once you've worshipped the kami, you move up into the war phase. And so for the war phase, it's going to be sitting there going through province by province. There's Nagato, so we come over Nagato. And Nagato, I didn't play through full turn, but in this case would have the most force here. And so they would just win that. And so they would get this point over here. That's worth 1 victory point. They can go ahead and get that now if they want and move up on the victory point track. There's going to be a bonus at the end of the game for having the most different ones of these. And so just see right down here, if I can focus on that, if you have 3 or 4 different province tokens, war tokens there, you'll get 10 bonus points. It goes all the way to 30 bonus points if you can get 7 or 8 different provinces over the course of the 3 seasons. And that's a little tricky because remember, only 5 seasons out of all 8 come out each time. It's going to be where the war breaks out. But that's how it's going to go. Now I am going to go through one little war phase here just so we can see what that would look like. And so we're going to have, pretend we had a kind of an even matchup over here, a 2-and-2 matchup. So to go to the war phase, anytime you realize that, okay, during the fourth battle, Kyushu is going to go to war. Right now we've got the Turtle Clan and the Bonsai Clan are going to go to war in that clan. So I'm going to flip over this into the war phase. And this is really the only time you're going to stay behind your screen too. There's going to be a little bit of a secret phase here too. Now we didn't do all the harvesting and all that, right, so we're just going to pretend we got the coins we started with here. You show everybody how many coins you've got. So in this case, the Turtle Clan's got 5 coins. They all go behind the screen here. And then we're fighting with the Bonsai Clan. Oh, they've only got 4 coins. They've been getting everything cheap too. But that goes onto their little war mandates on the backside here. And then you're going to take 4 different steps here in order. First thing you do is decide if you're going to want to do seppuku. And seppuku is when you're actually going to kill all of your figurines, but you'll gain some honor and a victory point each time you do that. You also have the option to take hostage, and these will happen in orders. That's what the little arrows mean. But you can also bid to take hostages. If you win the take hostage phase, you can take 1 hostage, which will take an honor from your opponent, which will actually move them down, a victory point. That should move them down a victory point, move you up a victory point if you take a hostage. It doesn't quite say it here, but at the end of the phase, you'll return the hostage back to them as they set up to the next season, and you'll get a coin from the bank for doing that, too. So you actually gain another coin. You take their honor, but apparently the bank pays your ransom, so you get a coin from the bank. You can hire Ronin, so not everybody in the fight is going to get to use their Ronin, too. And so you may decide you want to use your Ronin. You're going to bring the extra force in. Remember, this is a tied battle right now. Those Ronin could really make a difference. You may want to bring those into the battle. You decide the battle outcome based on the highest number of force, and then the poets come in, and they will sing a song and write some poetry about this. And so for every, if you get the poets on your side here, you will gain a victory point for every figure that was killed in that battle. That's not just yours, that's the other side too. If one side wins, everybody gets, all the figures get killed. The Ronin don't count, but all those figures count as getting killed. So if we went through this, what you do is, before the battle goes, you've shown this side has 5 coins, this has 4 coins, you decide where you want this to go. Well, the Turtle Clan, they don't do seppuku, at least not in this example here, so they're not going to bid any coins on there. They might make a noise like they are over here. These coins make a nice little noise, but they're just going to leave that off there too. They do want to come over and try to get one of those things off the board there, so they're going to put a couple of coins on to take hostages. They definitely want to hire some Ronin and maybe get in on some poetry there as well. If they decide they didn't want to spend all their coins, they just can put it out on the table there, and you know, gotta be a little, you can be a little subtle about whether you're how quiet you put things down, but they need to be at some point behind the screen, either on one of these choices or not. So the Turtle Clan here, they're going to be a little sneaky. They've got one Ronin, but they're going to they're going to try to get their Ronin in the fight. They're going to try to take hostages also. They're going to try to get the Ronin fight, but they don't care about the poetry, and they're not going to try to do any seppuku or anything. They want to win this fight too, but they're not going to put anything on the poetry there. So once both sides have the coins where they want it to be, they will reveal and move away that, and then we start planning this out. So nobody chose seppuku, so nobody dies from that. But there's going to be a hostage taken this time, and both sides bid 2 coins. But earlier they made that move up here, and oh, wait a minute. No, remember during the final betrayal phase, the clan, they went up a notch and moved up to the top of the thing, and look at that, the tied honor. Sorry, the tie here, 2 coins. To 2 coins for take hostages goes to the Bonsai clan. Say the higher honor, so they get to take hostage. They'll go ahead and take the daimyo off of the board there. So now it's a 2-to-1 fight. But if you'll notice, they have hired Ronin. They spent 2 coins there. They only spent 1 coin to hire Ronin, and so they actually get to do the higher Ronin action. And so they're going to come into the fight on the yellow side. Now we're back to a 2-and-2 fight. So you decide the outcome at this point. And at that point, it's a 2-to-2 fight. Oh no, but again, tie goes to the one with highest honor. And so they win this fight. This Ronin is just going to go back over here. Matter of fact, all the Ronin go back here at the end. But, sorry, not doing the money yet. This figure is killed. So they died. Here, let's note just who died. We'll put them down like that. And they get to stay on the board too, so they don't have to be summoned back in. So there's the other advantage. You don't have to spend your train cycle, sorry, recruit cycle. I gotta get this right. Your recruit cycle from your political mandate, getting more creatures on the board, because I won that fight. But oh, sorry, Imperial Poets. 1 figure was killed, and so 1 was taken hostage. 1 was killed. So 1 was killed, and so gain a victory point for every side killed, and so the Bonsai clan gets a victory point for that. They get this province up here, so that's going to count towards a point for them. In fact, we can go ahead and give them a point for that as well. And here's where it gets interesting. For everyone in the fight, the winner takes their coins and pays them to the loser. The loser actually loses all their coins, so everything they bid goes away. You're going to get fresh coins at the beginning of the next fight. But look, this group can't handle one more fight, but they're ready to go. They can actually get into another fight. Now, if there were more than two people in the fight, the winner, sorry, more than two clans in the fight, the winner gets to decide how to divide up the coins between the two losers, too. You go through that, you've completed all the war phases, you get all your war tokens distributed out, and then you set up for the summer season. Summer season is going to put a different set of cards up here that didn't get, those didn't get bought, they go away. New monsters will come out. All the coins, all the Ronin go back into the common pool, and then technically you'll bring back out whatever your starting coins are. So if you're supposed to have 6 coins, we just grab 5 more. You have to put the one back and grab 6, but you'll set up like that. And that is basically Rising Sun. Once you've gone through 3 different seasons of that, the game gets bigger as the minis get more distributed out there. The fights get fiercer. The monsters get tougher, and so they start getting more special powers. I wanted to point out what special power this Oni has, because this group, the Dragonfly clan, is stuck here at the bottom of the honor track. But if they recruited this Oni of Skulls onto their team, it would be worth 3 points in any province where you have the lowest honor. So if it ended up in some province for this side, and for Kyoto there, and let's throw it into this fight. Look at that. That's already a 3-2 fight because they've got the lowest honor. Notice there's some ways to switch some honor around. Seppuku gains you honor. It's the betray action. As we were talking about earlier, that betray action, you lose honor too. There's some other things that'll help you move up and down the honor track depending on some of the cards that you buy up there and so forth. At the end of the game, you go ahead and still return the hostages from what would be the autumn season, pay off the coins there, and the player with the most victory points wins the game. If you're tied, guess what? The highest honor will win unless you're allied with whoever has the highest score there. If the 2 top players are both tied and allied at the end of the game, they actually share the victory. But that's Rising Sun, and I hope to maybe show you some other things later. I'm going to paint some of these minis. Some of these kami that come out, there's actually figures for them. You can use an expansion that will bring out a figure, so not only do you worship there and you get the highest honor, the figure comes out onto the board in one of your strongholds, and they're going to affect that province for the rest of the turn too. So that's kind of cool. There's some other monsters that came with this. There's a lot of different cards that you can play up there to mix this up, and so you never have to play the same game twice too. Plus, depending on what strategies people use, this gets different every time. It's a beautiful game, beautiful art. I'm going to have as much fun painting the minis as I am playing this game. I've got one other piece coming with my Kickstarter, which is this board right here. Is the actual board that comes with the game. It's a big cardboard board. It fits all these minis on here, but it's going to get a little crowded in places like this when you start getting it on there. And there's a neoprene playmat that's 20% bigger that will spread this out a little more. Otherwise it looks the same, but it'll spread that out more, and you can get everybody on there a little bigger if you've got a big enough table. So I'm going to have to clean some space at home to put this out on my table. But I wanted to give you guys a chance to see this, and if you have any questions, please leave comments below. You can also comment on the link at the Gaming with Sidekicks website, and thanks for watching.